The only thing that I've seen that was like hyper-gory that kind of got to me is there's a scene in Antichrist where she like cuts her own foot off with a scissors.
Fuck me.
The last like 45 minutes of the movie pretty intense. You get to see William Dafoe's like big dick. It's like a fucking rocket ship like coming out of his torso.
Is that where the like rumor came from that he had a huge dick?
He got a giant dick, dude. I think it's like impressive.
Are you sure it wasn't like computer made or whatever?
Supposedly it's a stunt cock, but I mean whoever's dick that is. You ever seen like a really muscular guy with no neck?
Yeah.
It's like that but a dick. It's like a scary looking dick. And then at the end, like, she stabs him through the leg or something, and then she smacks him in the penis with a fucking log, and like jacks him off till blood comes out. And then she like lays next to him and jacks off and like cuts off her clit with scissors and gets like extra clothes so you can see it severed.
That's awful.
That one was bad to me. That scene in 7 where they find the guy that had to like fuck him with a big sword.
Right. I love that movie. That movie was so good.
7?
Yeah.
I didn't see it till like way after it was relevant, and I don't remember it as much. That happens with a lot of stuff though. I did see The Matrix when it was new. That fucking blew my mind.
I wish I had seen it when it was new. I didn't see it until I was like 18 or so.
I had some friends, and he had a sister that was really responsible, so we got to watch like Blair Witch Project and all that good shit.
Really? I also didn't see that one until I was like 22, 23.
But then it wouldn't have been scary anymore. But when I saw it, it wasn't really scary, but it was a good movie.
I thought it was kind of scary the first time I ever watched it because I didn't really have like an idea of like really what I was going into because they don't really make found footage films like...
That was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one, but they don't really make them like that either anymore. Like...
Yeah, because they didn't tell them what was going on the whole time. They were just like fuck with them each night.
Oh, no, they told them. They knew what they were going into and stuff like that. I don't know if they knew like what was happening during like if they like completely set out a full-on plan, like
I read
test
something
it out.
that they didn't tell them what was going to happen each night. They were just like changing it up and fuck with them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, we're going to be in the woods, but you don't know what we're going to be doing.
You think they just like cut filming because like the actors themselves couldn't handle it anymore?
Well, I don't know if you've ever been in like a forest at night, but that doesn't even sound like realistic. Like, I would not be out there making fake fucking noises. They'd be like, there's enough scary shit out here, just leave them alone.
I mean, I did at Renfest, but that's like not.
Supposedly, you can see the witch in part of that movie. When they're getting out of the car, to go into the woods, there's like a weird thing that's like covered behind the car.
Really? I just don't know if I like buy into it.
I'll see if I can find it. It's not very convincing, but it would be kind of cool if they saw like the fucking witch.
That would be great. Yeah. I don't know if she does exist is the thing.
There was something before that. There was this movie called Cannibal Holocaust that was shot in like the 1970s.
That sounds familiar, but I've never seen it.
It's supposed to be like a real thing. It's an exploitation movie where they go to South America. The stuff that's really bad to watch is like kill like some live turtles and some other stuff, some pigs. But there's like a bunch of like simulated rape and like they're cannibals so they eat them and stuff. It's like just an intense like gore fest. And when they came out, the director like they all had to sign like NDAs and they like had to stay out of interviews and stuff for like a year or two. So it was like, this is a snuff film, like those kids are dead. Like,
when did it come out?
It was like 1970. It's really hard to find copies of it.
Yeah, I think I heard about it because it was like, I don't know if it was like CNN or something like that did their like the 70s.
My buddy Daryl showed me Cannibal Holocaust and I repaid him. I showed him U-570 Men Behind the Sun, which is like a Japanese World War II movie where they use like real corpses because they didn't have like film regulations.
Yeah.
They put like a body in a decompression chamber and like they lower it until his asshole shoots out. There's like a scene where they like starve a bunch of rats and they throw a cat in there and like it's a real like cat getting eaten. There's supposedly one part where they like they're operating on like this little boy's body, but it's like a real like dead little boy.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I couldn't even find it like go on the dark web to get a copy of it, but film's always interesting. I've been kind of thinking lately. I saw this movie called My Dinner with Andre, where it's like it's kind of like what we're doing here. It's like a postmodernist against like a modernist. It's like someone he hasn't talked to in a long time, but they're both playwrights.
Okay.
He talks to him about like going to Sweden and like dancing naked with everybody and like doing like popcorn, which is like where you just do like random stuff and everybody's naked and it's like a free energy thing. But it's just like them talking for 2 hours. I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, you can just do that? You can just have movie people talking? I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, yeah, I can movies.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, one of my favorite films is called The Man from Earth, and it's literally like them just sitting in a room pretty much for the entire movie.
That sounds awesome, actually.
And it's actually, okay, so like, I'll kind of, I don't know if you want me to like spoil just like a little bit or whatever. It's like, well, I guess the movie trailer like explains it, but basically the dude's from like the Paleolithic era or something like that, and he just like is an eternal being basically. And he has to constantly move around, and he is in this like time period or whatever during the early 2000s. He is a professor, and all of his like colleagues are like wanting to wish him goodbye and everything because he's about to leave, because he can only spend like 10 years in a place before people start to think that it's weird that he's not like aging and shit. And what is it? So all of his like colleagues and friends and everything like that want to wish him off, and then they're like, why are you even leaving in the first place? Because he wasn't going to say anything to anybody, he was just going to leave. And they were like really offended by that, and then they were all trying to like figure out why he was leaving and like all this other shit. So he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna tell you, you know. And he tells them that like he's like eternal, and that's why he has to leave all the time. And they just start arguing about it, right? And they start, because they have a psychology teacher there, they have I think a theology teacher present, an English teacher.
What type of movie is it? Like, what type of genre?
I don't even know what you call it, honestly. Like,
I'm trying to picture it.
It's just a fiction. That's the best way I can put it, because it's like, it's not sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi concept having an eternal being, essentially. Because even they ask him at one point, like, why did this happen to you? You know, like, was there a big reason or whatever? Because he talks about like he met Jesus and Buddha and like all these other people, right? And so they're thinking like, okay, so you must know why you have been an eternal being, right? He's like, no, it just fucking happened to me. I've watched everybody around me die, and I don't know why I'm like this, but I don't want to be like this. He hates it. He really doesn't like it, because it just happened to him. Literally, he was a caveman, and then all of a sudden he just never died. He didn't notice it for a while, apparently. It took him like I think a few centuries, or not a few centuries, but like it took him a while to like figure out, because I mean that's a long time period before like history starts. That's
funny. I've actually never heard of that movie, but it kind of sounds like Day of the Roasted Still. It's kind of worse, like a straight up fiction, but it's like a lot different from a lot of alien movies.
What is it?
The Day of the Roasted Still, the original one from the 60s. He comes down to like DC, and he like lands on the White House lawn.
Oh, shit.
And he tells them they have to like stop, nuclear armament and all this kind of shit. It's just like him going around, like he talks to like this little kid at the boarding house he stays at.
The Day the Earth Stood Still? Oh yeah, I watched that in my fucking science class, and it was like, we watched the one from like the 1960s or whatever.
Yeah, black and white.
God, that one was good.
Yeah, like that movie.
It was so good, honestly. Like the whole concept, like, I don't know, because I saw it in high school, and I just thought it was kind of amazing, like hearing about like the Twilight Zone and shit like that. Like these concepts were from like way back then.
It has a big like Twilight Zone feel.
Yeah, it does. It really, like, honestly, it does.
Especially like the part where the power goes out.
Yeah. Oh, that movie was so good though, because like I felt like the alien guy itself like acted really well.
That's kind of what's happened in movies again, because when they brought in Spielberg and everybody back in like the 70s and the 80s, they were changing, like, because Hollywood was so stagnated, nobody was watching movies anymore. Nobody wanted to watch like Western or Egyptian shit they'd seen like 1,000 times already. So they started shooting blockbusters and all this weird shit. They probably need to get back to that though, because now they're just like, even if you made the Avengers, there's not room for like a third or fourth or fifth one. I mean, already made it 20.
I mean, they're still going to be having spinoffs, though.
Movies are pretty grim lately.
It's just repeating everything.
That's why I think you could probably get away with having a movie where people just talk, as long as it's like a good conversation.
Yeah, honestly, I really do.
I've been trying to think of like modern myths or like modern concepts from myths that you might hear. If like I was trying to think like what would someone like 1,000 years ago like what would be myths from like this time, and I was thinking
the depression monster. Like it's an urban legend of depression that just stalks around the night, like the kukui basically.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just like it stalks everybody, but it like hides on over your bed and gives you really bad dreams and anxiety and everything, and just ha ha ha, you're gonna die soon.
That's called Facebook.
And it just seeps out and goes to your neighbor.
There was one, I kind of got the idea from Full Metal Alchemist. I wanted to have one where like a man like goes to God and they have like a competition to see who can make up the better human.
See, I like that concept, honestly. I've been like playing around with that because I have this idea for a story basically where this girl takes LSD and but here's the thing, at the same time, like everything was like working out to be where they kind of like whatever's out there in the universe basically kind of just says, okay, so we're now going to talk to you while you're on this drug trip and we've set everything up perfectly for this, and we're going to tell you basically you're now God. You know, you have free reign to take care of like a little simulation of your own and everything, and you get to be God. And then it turns into basically a contest to see who's going to be the best God, because there's a bunch of different gods all creating simulations and they're trying to find the best one. And then the time, like basically then the universe would start over.
That's what the Earth is. That's what the Earth is supposedly, just like a testing ground for the gods to influence you. Because once they acknowledge free will, they agree to only like influence you like passively, not actively. It's like a weird bargain.
It's fair enough, right?
Yeah. You said you had some stuff about communism too, right?
Yeah.
Capitalism.
I don't have my fucking note cards with me, but I know a lot of shit off the top of my head, especially if you start asking me questions.
What's off the top of your head? What can you think of?
Basically, the first thing that comes into my mind is like the prison system. Like that's like one of the biggest things that capitalism to me affects, especially today, given how it's just shrouded in so much just like misinformation. And then like what we do with the prisoners themselves is we like basically take slave labor for them for major companies like Coca-Cola and AT&T, all kinds of shit. And we give them nothing, and we make the American public think that that's okay because they're criminals. Even though if you look at like most convictions, it's either like drug convictions or previous convictions, they add longer terms, basically. And because of the way the system works is because once you commit a crime, you're basically fucked. Like, especially if you committed a felony, you know? That's
what a lot of these Antifa kids don't realize. That one kid got like a 6-year felony, and I was like, you're not going to do if you get in prison, especially if you don't like white people.
Yeah, like, okay, I love Antifa, don't get me wrong. I fucking love what they're doing because I wish there was rioting in the fucking streets. I wish more people were fucking doing that. But, like, unfortunately, nobody's going to get on your side if you're fighting people. That's the problem. Like, they just, like, look at fucking Richard Spencer. He was just dressed up in a fucking suit. He looks like a fucking normie motherfucker. Like, if you're punching that motherfucker in the street and no context, just hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing too, that's what people see, because like if you alienate everybody to the other side, the only thing that's left are like the people in suits.
Yeah.
And those people you never really went against.
And they hide so well is the problem. Is like the modern day racists just hide so fucking well because because we've outlawed certain language, they can now hide behind other things. Like that's the problem. Like they always find new things. And then we have like the thing with the OK symbol where it's like it started out as a complete fucking joke. Then everybody took it fucking seriously. And then now it's just like, yeah, it's a fucking racist symbol.
See, I never believed that though, because like this one guy was saying that this proves that the Victoria police in Australia are racist. And I was like, at best it proves they were fucking with you. You can't really, even if it is like a symbol that retroactively is like now racist, like you gotta have more than that. You can't just say
yeah.
Symbol.
I mean, technically it can't really be a hate symbol until like at least the trolling of it started.
Well, it's just the whole narrative of the way things are going too is like they want to introduce laws to make not speech that is like bad, but speech that would incite violence illegal. But at the same time, they're already equating like speech to violence. So you kind of see where the hop after that goes to.
I mean, they don't though. They say that they do, but they don't treat it as such. It's just all of a ruse. Honestly, it's just a ruse. It's all fake lies that they tell everybody. I mean, think about it. Look at how Facebook actually works. Honestly, nobody on Facebook is really shutting down these fucking people. I get shut down more often for my views where I was actually making screenshots of shit and I got shut down for it. Like, I don't see anybody on that end really getting fucked unless they really fuck with somebody. They gotta be like a hard fucking troll. And that means like constantly like harassing somebody, one person in particular, to the point where they're like complaining to Facebook or whatever.
Is that what you do?
No, I don't. I don't fucking even block people, honestly. You gotta be a fucking just horrible fucking person for me to fucking block you. Like, or if I think you're just not gonna leave me alone, I'm blocking you. That's mostly the reason why I block people, is because I ask them to leave me alone, they won't.
I've never been in that situation, but I like it when you get somebody mad, they start taking screenshots and reposting it. That's always good.
I do that.
You repost them?
Oh yeah. I get, if it's some fuck shit conversation or whatever and you piss me off, and like I really think you're a fucktard basically, I'm gonna fucking post this shit because I find it funny, and I think other people are gonna fucking find that funny too.
It never works. They always call it cringe. I kind of learned my lesson, but now it's funny when people try to use it on me. Really?
I don't see the point in using it. Like on.
It doesn't work on me. Like you can't it's the same thing with like cult leaders. Like if you never go on the defensive and you're never like backpedaling, because like you keep constantly like moving the conversation and shifting connections. But there's a way to do it the right way or the wrong way.
That's a wrong way to debate, in my opinion, though, because I mean that diverges from the whole point of debate, which is to talk about the topic. If you're constantly just trying to outmaneuver your opponent, that's dumb.
Well, most of them can't have a real conversation with me anyway.
Most people can't have real conversations. I mean, they talk about drill and stupid shit. So I can't talk to most people, honestly. Like, there was this girl, bless her fucking heart. She tried several fucking times to talk to me in class. Like, she really did. She wasn't hitting on me. She just, she was a nice person and just wanted to talk to everybody in class. But she would talk to me about my dog, which is cool. Like, I'll talk about my dog. But then she would talk to me about makeup. Like, at one point she asked me, like, what my foundation was, and I was so fucking just balls high. And I couldn't remember what it was, and I just, like, I don't wear makeup. And I just don't. And I just went back to my book, and I felt bad, because I'm like, I don't know how to carry a conversation with you. I know you're not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. I don't want to subject us to this, but I still look like the fucking asshole because I'm taking the quick way out. Like, instead of pretending to have a conversation with this girl that I know I'm going to fucking hate. Like, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. But isn't that fucking stupid?
Yeah, I'm not sure I don't know. You kind of have to be careful because of who you are. I can kind of like wonder anywhere you're at an advantage. What? That's why I can talk to like homeless people and like hang out with bad parts of towns.
I like talking to homeless people though. Homeless people are cool.
Yeah, most of the time. I jacked that one dude around pretty bad downtown though. He wanted that 53 for the hotel that he said he had so he could get his job. And he wanted me to go to like all these different ATMs. I was like, no, I'm going to my bar. He said a prayer for me first. Like, oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And then we walked in and he's like, just 53. He just kept saying, like, I guess he thought I was going to take out 16 and give it to him, but I didn't do that. I went to their bar. I took out the 20, and then like Veronica was there, so she's getting some change. And I went out to the smoking area and like I waited for 5 minutes to come over to get it. And I was like, well, where's your mic? And he was just like typing it the whole way. I was seeing the dude out there like 3 or 4 times. You can't fuck with me forever. That's what you get for talking to somebody like an Al Poncho and like a walking stick too.
You look like an odd dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look like that like fairy tale dude that's supposed to like lead you to the next pathway in the game. Like, oh hey, there's the next checkpoint.
That's that plays a really good event fair.
I imagine. Probably like blends in like
I just
somewhat
need like
well.
a skull to wear on my head.
A skull?
Like a bird skull.
That could work. You can get one of those like bird masks or whatever, like from the plague masks.
Oh, the plague mask?
Yeah.
I have some potted off others, but you're not supposed to.
Why not?
It's illegal.
Why?
Oh, they're endangered, I think.
I mean, what if you just got one?
That's how I got one. That's also where I had that hatch in my room, though. Like, I used to carry it around because there'd be a bunch of, like, dead condors and stuff on the way from Magnolia. Like, oh, free feathers.
Yeah, like, what if you just, like, found it dead?
That looks even worse when you're, like, in an alpaca, like, bend over, like, hacking something apart at, like, 2 in the morning.
Yes, honestly, it really does.
I have a lot of good luck with cops.
It's because you're a white dude.
No.
It's because you're a white dude.
Partially invisible.
Because you're a white dude.
I'm not that white.
You're like translucent. You're like translucent.
I don't know what you're talking.
You're a ginger with like translucent skin.
Yeah, but I had a black dad, I think.
I can't see that.
Like a black dude.
I mean, technically, probably, but it would be
It's not black, but like I think that's where it came from.
I mean, I think that's what happens when you get what is it? It's frostbite or whatever. Your limbs turn like black or whatever. Is that what happened?
No.
Just trying to fuck ice for too long.
No, I'm thinking about what you're talking about. Though it's fucking horrifying. It's like all burnt up and purple.
Yeah, it looks all shriveled up too, like mummified.
They had to like limit the number of people that can go to Everest because all keep dying up at the top.
Yeah, I heard about that. That shit's insane because they would die from like the altitude and shit like that because they weren't moving fast enough.
Are you a big like traveler person?
I want to travel like really fucking badly, but like.
Where would you go?
Okay, I feel like that's too broad because like. It honestly is. No, because like I want to go to like Sicily and Italy, and I want to go to London, and I want to go to various places around the United States. But I think it's more plausible to go around the United States. That's why I'm like.
That's a good outlet.
What?
There's like a shit ton of interesting places in the United States. Most of them I'll tell you about.
Yeah, honestly. Like, there's a lot of things to see around here. It's so huge, and it's just, like, right here, so you might as well see it, you know?
Texas has a lot of, wasn't really as explored as there really is some other places, I think.
I could see that. Our maps just don't really have anything on it.
Maps are kind of fucked up if you think about them. Like, they all came from, like, ancient sources. It was like, how did the first one make this?
I always used to wonder that, like, Lewis and Clark, when they're, like, going out there and discovering the new lands, like,
That must have been dope.
how do you make maps? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Cartography is intense, but I've seen, like, different, like, conspiracy theories, too. Like, this map that was, like, 50 years after Columbus sailed, it was already American. I was like, how did they plot the entire continent in 50 years? Like, and then
They walked.
The more I thought about it, I was like, how do you plot any continent? I was like, shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how long does that take?
Oh, man. That's...
Because what do? Do you follow the coastline and you just keep updating the line?
And, like, how do you know when you get to the end of it, either? Like, honestly.
If you want to, like, measure, like, the coast of the U.S., like, where the water touches it, like, 6 agencies will give you, like, 6 different answers. Because it's impossible to measure it. You'd have to take, like, a microscope and go inch by inch and, like, come out the top of the whole way. So, like, some people will say it's, like, 400,000 miles. Some people will say it's, like, 1,000,000 miles. Like, it depends on who you ask.
Oh.
Not 1,000,000, like, I'm really bad at numbers, but you get the idea, like...
Yeah, I know, but, like...
There's not, like, a consistency in how much coastline there physically is.
I know, but that, like, bothers me. Like, there's something really dumb about United States anything.
That's nothing. You know, the continents aren't the right size.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's insane.
Iceland's, like, way smaller than ours.
And Africa's supposed to be a lot bigger.
South America's bigger than it, actually.
Really?
I've heard that.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like, South America's, like, way larger.
There was a fucking video I saw fucking years ago. It was actually had some actual, like celebrities and stuff like that were, but it was, like, during, like, the 80s or 90s or something like that. But they were talking about maps, basically, like how the government was lying to us about how maps actually look and stuff.
I think you're thinking of that Veep clip that I'm talking about.
No, I don't. It wasn't on that.
They talk about how the map's upside down too.
Let me see.
That's another thing I saw the other day. There's like some Hindu or Native American legend that talks about the Earth as like two fig leaves and like a rabbit. And it's like our map turned upside down. A lot of people don't realize that the Native American religion is the same as like Christianity too. They worship Yahweh.
Yeah.
Even the name's kind of the same.
I mean, I thought God's name was Yahweh.
Well, like, even like the Native American God, like, it's not spelled the same, but it more or less is like Yahweh or something.
They're all based off each other is the thing. Any man-made religion, anything that we've created, basically, not anything that's actually out there. I think we've just all supplemented to explain what's going on in our universe, and we've all just taken from everything else.
Have you ever heard of like the Grand Canyon where they found those Egyptian artifacts?
No.
This guy with the Smithsonian went there in like the 17th or the 1800s on this edition. There's only like one or two articles about it from the Gazette, from wherever the fuck the Grand Canyon's at.
I didn't even think there was a bottom of that thing, to be honest.
There's all kinds of interesting stuff. If you go to Mexico, they have like an actual like well to the underground. They've gone like 3 or 4 miles into it and they can't find the end.
Oh. See, that's terrifying to me. It's just not something that never has an end.
There's the gate to Hades in Greece you could visit.
I wanted to go see that, honestly.
There's like a meditation in one of my witch books that talks about like going there and like doing smoking and meditating in the witch's cave. Sounds intense.
I've always wanted to see the Colosseums in Greece and all of it. Because I grew up like really in love with mythology, and so I just like used to like fantasize about going to Greece and seeing it and like reading mythology. Nice.
Give something new, you know.
Appreciate that. Pretty sure Sean decided to go out or something like that because he hasn't messaged me or called or anything.
Oh yeah, that means you're off the leash.
Not really. He's gonna be mad whenever he does see me.
You make everybody mad though.
Yeah, I do.
Sure.
Well, I made it clear that like he has no right to ask me about anything anymore. Honestly.
I mean, if you got a girlfriend, you can't really be mad.
Like, if I just decide to go out, I didn't say anything that I was going out is the thing. Yeah. So, he's not worried about me or else he would call.
Yeah, that's true. Right. He's probably just mad about it somewhere.
I mean, I just don't think he's worried about me is the thing.
It's kind of hard, like, I hate to put myself in that mindset, but I do get kind of detached sometimes, and I usually act like an asshole when it happens.
I mean, here's the thing, is like I said, everything is fleeting. Nothing actually matters. So human connection actually doesn't technically matter. We just use it to help us ease the suffering of human life, basically.
That's a good point.
It's all, I mean, if you think about it, we meet people at certain times in our life for specific reasons, probably.
I think so.
And then once they really, I know this sounds bad, but once they don't serve their purpose anymore, they're probably not going to be in your life.
I don't know. I used to think that way.
I mean, people like to think of it like if this person isn't making you happy anymore, you stop being friends with them, right?
No,
I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
It really makes me happy. That's a tall word.
I think happiness is just such a fucking, it's not even like, I don't think it's a state. I don't. I think it's a choice. It's just like any other emotion is the thing. It just happens, because it's a reaction to some stimulus. That's it.
Maybe. I think you got the same problem idea. You can be on the retarded side of the world, like push yourself too far, where you're aware that you just want to do like normal human shit and be like a gross, greasy person, but at the same time, your autism will let you.
I don't though. I don't actually want to be like anybody else. Is the thing, because their lives bore me. Their whole existence is just bore me, honestly.
Yeah, life is pretty boring once you got it figured out.
Like, okay, sure, they fit in better with the way things function and everything, but like, are any of them actually happy?
That's the process of the duality, because that's what everybody doesn't actually pick the good side. They try to pick what's popular so they don't get judged.
Yeah.
Which is like reactionary living.
Yeah, basically. And I just...
Everything goes in patterns, so you can't just like be like, well, I'm going to talk to this person and it never works that way.
Well, no, of course not. I'm never like that.
It's not really fair, because if this was like 50 years ago, like it would be, because you could just like go 30 miles down the road still like in your family. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's kind of like the curse of the internet. But I also, like talking to Megan, it took me a long time to realize that like people that keep tabs on you,
yeah,
as they come to like make sure the windows are still broken out. Those types of people don't necessarily care about you.
Yeah.
There's somebody that's got like a relationship and bonding issues, and you get mistaken for that really easily. It kind of fuck you up for a long time.
Yeah, I feel that, like on a spiritual level.
Well, my solution to it was to just not think about it anymore at the time still. Because like if you love somebody, and technically you love them again like an alternate universe. There was one time I did like 10 hits of acid and I had to like grab the wall because like all of a sudden it was like, what if I've been making like the same mistake over and over? It's like, I'll leave this life like all these
What if
times.
we are though? Like,
and I still fucked it up.
well, like what if we're just, here's the thing, like what if we're just repeating all the same actions and...
You shouldn't say goodbye to people then, that's why I won't say goodbye. Just say see you later.
I don't either.
I'll see you again.
It doesn't, I don't know, because if you notice, like whenever I was at work, I never like said hi to anybody really until I had to make an effort to do that because it just doesn't occur to me.
I thought you just like were stuck up.
See? No, I don't know how to say hi to people.
I don't really think that. I'm usually doing my own thing at work. It was nice having you talk to though, usually.
It was nice. Like, that was like the only decent part until I wanted to like kill myself at work.
It's not any better now, but they let Nicole work on chat, so I know they're going to let them do that bullshit, even though I've been there longer. Whatever.
I still don't understand what chat is.
Tell me I can't sell fucking books, they do chat questions now, whatever.
What the fuck is that?
It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. I applied for a part-time job to like do raptor trapping, but I don't think I have a chance at it.
Like raptor as in the dinosaur?
No, like birds.
Oh.
Like eagle and hawk and like owl relocation.
Oh. That sounds like a hard field to get into, honestly.
Not really, dude. I have like so many fucking recordings of like birds at work when they come up to them. If you're over here like late enough at night, like sometimes at night the horned owl will hoot at me and I'll hoot back at them.
Really?
We'll go back and forth for a little bit. There's something like weird behind there too though. There's been a couple times I've been out there like 5 or 6 and I'll like hear something shuffling down the sidewalk that doesn't sound like a person. It's like there's also like a lot of cranes in the river, and I know anytime you get close enough to them, they take off and they complain. They go like, And sometimes it's like 5 or 6 in the morning, hear that shit. Like, what's looking out there that's super move?
They just don't like to be fucked with. A lot of animals do not like our presence, is the thing.
Yeah, but he's out there during that time frame. That's so fucking weird. He's out like 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah. I just think in general, like, I notice the way, like, animals regard humans. They just either want us for food or they don't want us at all.
Yeah. That's why I started feeding the squirrels. It's like, what are you eating fucking vegetables?
I hate the fucking squirrels.
It's good to look like one.
You know.
You got all squirrel-like qualities.
Do you want to do this, by the way?
Oh, we're good.